Alright, guys, I just finished watching what could potentially be the worst film of 2024 and one of the worst animated films I think I've ever seen, um, which is Megamind versus the Doom Syndicate. So, if you didn't already know, Megamind, the DreamWorks film, very successful film by fans. You know, everyone loves a bit of Megamind. I really like the first one, so I was looking forward to a sequel series when it was announced, and then we got a trailer, and we learned two things. A, it was going to be a TV series and a new film, so Megamind 2. Secondly, it was going to be awfully animated. And so I haven't watched the series, and I'm not going to after watching this film because I guarantee it's going to be even worse. Um, but I finished watching the film Megamind versus the Doom Syndicate, and I was already nervous to watch this because it has a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is just insane how awful that is. But I thought, even if it's rubbish, might maybe can just get some enjoyment out of it. And boy, was I so wrong. This film is horrendous. I don't know when to start. So first thing we know that with these, shows is that the original cast never returns, which they didn't. The animation is not very good. It's a lot cheaper. So there's no Will Ferrell. There's no Tina Fey. No one like that, which is already a red flag for me at least. I mean, I'm going to try and keep this video short if you didn't already realize. And so we're kind of the film is based 2 days after the original, and another red flag just going into this film is we know Minion, who was the fish from the first film. He's in the film, but he's changed his name because of, I'm assuming, the actual minions, the yellow creatures. He's changed his name, and they decided to change it to Chum. Um, Old Chum. That's literally the most generic, boring thing ever. Uh, but just stop, complaining about little nitpicks here. Obviously, we've got the Doom Syndicate, which already that name just doesn't sound right. And they are just the most generic, cliche villains you could think of. You've got a mime, you've got a knight, you've got a lady who controls the weather, and then you've got some weird lava-looking guy who looks a lot like the Hulk. That's kind of where we're at with it. And the first thing is, it doesn't even make sense because the whole entire premise of the first film was that Megamind and Metro Man were the only actual superhero, super beings. So that already makes 0 sense. And the series and the directors just didn't even think, oh, let's just hold on a minute. Let's make a reason for these villains to be here. Why are they here? How does this make sense? And it just doesn't work at all and makes 0 sense in here. And then another thing that we've got here is we've got this annoying sidekick in here who is like a little girl, and oh my god, I've never been found a character more annoying in a DreamWorks film. Like, it just doesn't work. And they even included like a credit scene in this film, which is hinting at a third entry, which they've already said if they do a third entry, they want to have it in cinemas. They need to up their game if they're getting this in cinemas. Honestly, I can't stress that enough. And it's just like the acting is just, I never say this because I understand that actors and actresses are just doing their jobs. But come on, you didn't even try to sound like Megamind or Roxanne or anything like that. It just doesn't work at all on any single level. And like it just is so, it's not even fun to watch. Like, there's just nothing in here. And I feel with the lore of it, they just kind of took it and they're like, let's take bits and pieces and let's just chuck it all here. And it just doesn't work. It's unfunny, very, very unfunny. Not once did I chuckle, not once did I laugh. And that's kind of the whole film. There's so many pieces of humor in here which are just not funny and are just so cringy and things I don't even think a child would even find funny. it's just, you look at it and you're like, why does this exist? Like, what am I watching? What am I experiencing right now? And that's the big issue with this, is it just doesn't feel like Megamind. And it feels like it doesn't even realize to itself that it's a cheap film, because it's trying to have this big gigantic spectacle. It's trying to have these different side plots. It's not just this straightforward simple story, and I don't get why you would ever want to do that in this 85-minute long film. It just didn't need to be there, and it didn't make any sense whatsoever to why that was in the film. And this just makes me really, really sad, because like, two of the writers returned. That was it. It was an advertisement for the Megamind Rules like series or whatever it is that I will not be attending. That's kind of what it felt like. And that's kind of all I got to say. I don't want to keep going on and on and on about this film, because I didn't like it. I mean, it's probably someone in the multiverse that did like this film. I'm afraid I was not one of them. And I am someone who never really complains about films that much on this YouTube channel. But this one, I'm afraid I did. I mean, I haven't seen Man and Web yet, and I've heard that that film's really, really bad. And some people are even saying that this is worse than Man and Web. So we'll have to see where we're at with that. But I didn't enjoy this film that much. I couldn't recommend it. I guess if your child's being sent to a childminder or is being babysitted and they are screaming their heads off, maybe put Megamind vs. the Doom Syndicate on. It might catch their eye for 20 minutes, and that is just about it. Because probably a young child is even going to recognise that this is not a good film. But yeah, guys, that is all I've got to say about Megamind vs. the Doom Syndicate. I was very disappointed in this. I was not happy with it. It is not good. I do not recommend it. But that's kind of it. So yeah, guys, that's going to wrap up this video. Thanks so much for watching. Please comment, like, and subscribe, share this video with your friends and family, and let me know your thoughts down below on Megamind versus the Doom Syndicate. Did you like it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? All that fun stuff down below. And I think now we can all just agree that there's no Megamind sequel out there. If there is, maybe the Button of Doom, but that's just about it. But that is all for this video, guys. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.